Om Apyayantu mamangani Vak pranaschakshu Shrotramatho Balamendriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarut Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam Estu Tadatmani Nirate Ya Upanishadsu Dharma Te Mai Santu Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become strong and efficient. All is verily the Brahman, the one without second, ever blissful, ever perfect, luminous existence itself. Let me never deny this truth of Brahman. May Brahman never reject me either. I am aware that realizing this truth requires acquiring all the precious spiritual virtues. May all these virtues be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the Brahman by going beyond our shapes and corresponding names. Like one looks beyond the shapes and names of animal crackers and becomes aware of the one substance that is really there. So let us go beyond the physical and mental forms that we take to be I. Just remove that from our consciousness and we see the underlying true permanent oneness. There is no other. This is the source of all existence, knowledge and bliss. As we feel this, all the desires are gone. For I am the infinite bliss. I am the true ultimate peace. I am eternal existence without beginning and end, beyond time, space. Oh, peace, peace, peace. So this is the 123rd episode or 123rd class of this great scripture, and we shall be concluding today the story of Ajamila. So, a very illuminating and uplifting story about the glory of the Holy Company and the glory of the name of God. So, let us begin at the beginning. Let us recite this opening chant. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, Just as the combination of materials like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate, the truth supreme, in which everything is included, which is contained in everything, includes everything, governs everything. There is no other governor in the universe. So, this story was about, it began with the question of Parikshit, king, to Shuka, that if everything is bound by the laws of action and its result, and how a human being will get the idea of liberation, it will be just circling in the same vicious cycle all the time. It is because the impressions are so deep. It is how on earth will a person get liberation from this? It is a circular path. That is, in a way, the meaning of samsara, the transmigration, going round and round and round. A circular path doesn't have an end. So, where is the hope for an ordinary person without this sense of discernment between permanent and impermanent? And even if there is, what is the use? Where is the escape? Because one commits the sins, then those impressions become again ingrained. These sins are committed because of attraction to the various uh, things in the world. They attract our senses, and we are kind of powerless to resist that pull. So we succumb to those temptations. Then that further leads to the to its disastrous results, and we commit more sins because of that. We commit more bad actions, and that continues. Where is the escape? And in reply to this question of the kings, uh, Shuka narrated this tremendously illustrative, powerful episode of Ajamila. Ajamila, as we saw, was on the deathbed. Initially, he was living a very pious life under the guidance of his pious parents. But one day a mishap happened that put his life completely on a wrong track. A wrong means, in that perspective, now one can see wrong. He thought it to be the right track. Oh, what nonsense! I was wasting my life in performing these austerities and all these rules of uh, pure life and devotion and social customs. Hey, off with them! This life is for enjoyment, and whatever way I can snatch it, that is how the life should be led. It is why worry about what is going to happen next. So thus he got headlong into the the snares of that uh, prostitute, and then beget many children, got further entangled and to support the family, he committed many, evil deeds like murders and thefts and whatnot. So, and thus the entanglement and attachment went on becoming more and more powerful, and ultimately the death has to come. So he was surrounded by the weakness, death. That death came, and he became so scared. The emissaries of the king of death came, and then in mortal fear he uttered the name of his youngest son, who was the dearest one to him. So, and then the emissaries of Yama have already tied his soul and were uh, taking him for the judgment of his merits and demerits, good and evil deeds, and sending him to the proper, suitable purgatory. That is the job of Yama. But because he said the name Narayana, the emissaries of Vishnu heard this, and they went to the rescue of this person. And then they freed the soul of Ajamila, and giving him another leash of life. So, not that he becomes liberated right here, no, but the path changed. This experience changed the path, and then Ajamila thus moved on to the path of liberation from transmigration. A few moments of the holy company of the emissaries of Lord Vishnu awakened the past impression of devotion. He was living a life of devotion before getting that temporarily caught in that. But one moment of, not being attentive can cause a lot of problems, like driving on the mountainous roads, and then if you miss a bit, then your car will plunge into 1,000 feet deep valley, and that's about it, you see. So, just one momentary lapse of attention can cause that. So, thus his life went into that abyss. But then that one moment gives life a turn towards salvation. That just as there are the evil tendencies that which are waiting to pounce on a person, the evil means tendencies for enjoyment, and those tendencies they are called evil because all that is called evil in the world arises from the tendency to snatch enjoyment from the external objects. Objects include people, means the walking objects or non-walking objects. So you feel that they are the sources of happiness, and you run to that. In that process, whatever one commits, may be socially good or socially bad, that is what is termed as evil or sin. Now, the awakening came, and his life changed. And life changed on the path of salvation. Of course, one has to traverse that path. It is changed onto that path Means it is the path. It does not, automatically lead you anywhere unless you move on it. That story that I had told, that somebody was asked, there was the gas station. It is olden times before GPS and all. So that one car driver asked that gas station, man, hey, does this road go to New York? And the man replied, see, I have been here for 20 years. Before that, my dad also was here for a long time. And none of us have seen this road going anywhere. The road has been always here. The road didn't go anywhere. But if you go on this road, yes, you will reach New York. So this road goes to New York is an allegorical way of saying, that it is the road does not go anywhere unless you move on it. So this road leads to salvation, but one has to assiduously, with determination and relentlessness, lot of patience is required. Pursue this path. Sometimes one may say that, well, Guru is going to give me liberation. Some God is going to give me liberation. Well, their job is to show you the direction. Mm, it is. And then you have to walk on that path that shows your intent. And thus, as you walk on that path, you get there. So, this is just for recapitulation. And then, with that moment, Ajamila was kind of just uh, woken up from that terrible dream, as it were. He saw all that happened for last 20-25 years of his life was like a dream. Oh, in dream you forget your waking state identity. And then go along the dream. Yeah, in the dream, you may feel that I have not eaten for 3 days. Let me eat a lot. Actually, you went to sleep after having a full five-course dinner. Now you are sleeping, but in sleeping now you are in a dream, and the dream identity takes over. You are in a very strange city, and then you move there, and then in the dream you commit a theft, and then that dream place enforcement officers, they catch and put you in prison, and all this now you are experiencing. You wake up. Oh, all that is gone. You are not in a prison. You didn't commit any theft. You didn't, go hungry. It is all that was, oh, ah, just a very horrible dream. So this fellow wakes up. Sometimes, the impact of dream, it is a very nice study. Our Tilak is a specialist in sleep treatments. So it is. So he will know many more things. He must have experienced a lot of things told by his patients. So uh, you have the dream. You are in another state. But now these things are so strong that it makes you get connected to this physical body again. From the dream state, when you are not aware, you are not connected with the physical sensory world. you immediately, just to protect you. The brain otherwise would kind of burst with all those. So you are brought again back to this life. You scream. Oh, others will, what happened? What happened? No, oh, sorry. That fellow is still trembling with the memories of the very scary dream. No, no, nothing. I was seeing a dream. And the others, they woke up from their sleep because this fellow screamed so loud. So it happened to everybody, even in the adult age. In children, I used to scream in the dream, and then everybody would wake up. Oh, I would see a dream. Uh, the like many scary dreams. Uh, like I have gone in my, exam, and then oh, I am not able to solve any question, and all something like that, and I forgot to bring my pen. It is so. Oh, what to do now? A big scary moment. Oh my goodness! So I am being scolded and thrashed by the teachers. So it is, and then, oh, I wake up, and then no, no, nothing has happened. You still are okay. So I would see sometimes that the burglars have entered the house, and they are stealing many things, very precious toys of mine. I didn't care for other things, but my toys would be all gone. And then I would scream, "Hey, what happened?" And then I would tell the parents who were startled, "What happened?" "Oh, oh, I saw the thieves there. They are taking away things." No, no, it is dream, it is dream. Nothing has happened. Sleep. So, Ajamila woke up from that dream of that kind of life, bound by the senses, and remembered that true nature. That memory is very important. Memory of our divine nature. We are divine, but that memory is kind of covered with these sensual pursuits, this kind of horrible dream. So therefore the Upanishad tell us, arise, awake, uttishthata jagrata prapya varan nibodhata in Kathopanishad. Very powerful statement that Swami Vivekananda was never tired of repeating. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Yes. Arise, awake. Shankaracharya in the commentary gives a very beautiful spiritual thought about the what we have to awake to. Awake to your that infinite divine nature. Awake to that reality. You are that. Oh, and remember his true nature, remembering the actual goal of life. Otherwise, our goals of life become some elevation in the careers, or having some other worldly things. It is, let me have a bigger house to live in, and it keeps on, changing. Let me get a new car. So there is absolutely no end to these things. But when this wakes up, oh, the goal is to realize this true nature of mine. So the life now moves in that direction. The impact of holy company on Ajamila was very powerful, just as that of the moment of evil company was. Uh, it is the holy company that if therefore this evil means not necessarily somebody is doing murders or thefts or cheating. Evil means that which wakes up the impressions of going for worldly sensual pleasure pursuits. That is the evil company. Evil company means not that all those people are bad people in the sense of law or other such things. A devotee should avoid those companies, although they may appear to be good because they are the companies. That company just is going in a different direction. If you go along with them, then you will also get pulled in that direction. So that is why Narada says, Dussangah sarvathaiva tyajah, that this kind of evil company that draws you or pulls you away from your goal of life. Hmm. Then avoid that. Do not yield to that. It is remember your goal. Somebody, a nice person, may meet you at the airport and you say hi. Say you are going to North Seattle. That person is going to Florida from Providence. Now, you like that person doesn't mean that you have to give up your ticket to Seattle. No, you say, oh, very good, nice to meet you, wonderful. Have a safe journey. That fellow also respond, oh, you too have a safe journey. You catch your flight, your goal. Don't forget that. So, Ajamila thus did not die at that time, being rescued from the clutches of the god, that emissaries of Yama, the god of death. He uh, so they left the soul. It again got into the body, and then he now lived the life of pure devotion. I many times allude an illuminating incident of there are many near-death experiences. They are now so well documented. Initially, when I was studying them more than 25 years ago, there was not so much data about them. Now it is really huge, voluminous data about it, and there are many, many common things for those who started living, although they were declared dead by expert doctors after due examination. It is there are many nice discussions of it, that if the heart stopped, heart pumping, no more pumping the blood, the brain, in a few seconds, the brain also loses the blood supply. It also starts dying. It cannot be done in a few minutes. In a few minutes, the person is kind of dead. So the doctors take time to evaluate, and then testing all the indicators that they are trained to do that. They test all those and they declare that this person is dead. Do you remember was a movie, Wizard of Oz? Anybody who has not seen the movie? Huh? You have not seen? You have not seen? Oh, oh. How could you live in America for so long without seeing Wizard of Oz? You have seen, yeah, yeah. Sarah, you didn't see Wizard of Oz? Yeah, you have seen, yeah. Uh, what AJ, did you see Wizard of Oz? Yeah. So, yeah. So there is a very nice, somewhat humorous, but then that witch died. The wicked witch died, and that wicked witch was then to get, you have to get certificate. This is a bit satire, that so the coroner was called, because unless the coroner gives certificate of death, so uh, there the coroner comes and examines. Funny, and there is a nice song about it. Anyway, so that he says she is legally, ethically, procedurally, morally completely dead. So, if this is pronounced on some person, you don't expect that person to start talking again. Mm. But there have been several such incidents. I mean, the number is probably now in thousands, that such cases, and they give you a window of how a person death and coming back. What is it? What is the nature of death? What happens at the time of death? So they the person when comes back is kind of completely changed person. The strange part was that person was living one kind of a life, and then after becoming, again alive, after being pronounced as death, has the experience that there is a tunnel experience that is common with all of such experiences. There are many interesting books that you can read. One is that uh, one is Life After Life. There is another next edition of his Life After Light, a Light After Life, yeah, something like that, yeah. So, by the same one author, there are other authors also. Many psychologists also have studied these experiences. There is a lot of research work available on that, and you should go through some of that just to get the inkling that their life now takes an about turn. It becomes a very different life that is now going on much more moral path. One great example is the well-known American philosopher. His name was A.J. Ayer. He was a confirmed atheist and agnostic. Agnostic means his position was, to give you in one sentence, nothing in this world can be perfectly causally determined. You can never say that this is the cause of that thing in as a unique cause and effect relationship. So, and thus nothing can be determined here. It is all a chaotic world order. He had this experience of near death. He was declared dead and then came to life. So now his philosophy underwent a lot of change. He lived many years after that. He didn't admit that it changed, because that again becomes a problem. So, but those who were studying his literature, his papers, they saw a remarkable change in his position. So it is very important, that this is a change. Now, a new life is gotten here. And then Ajamila did not die at that time. He lived now the life of pure devotion. So, the life of pure devotion, what it means here is that now you have to take steps, very firm, strong steps, which requires some mental strength and determination. I will cut away from my old life to facilitate that I will leave this place which is place of lot of attachments, a lot of memories of my life attached to my family and my vocation is there. That will be again a big bondage. So he takes the decision to leave the place and goes to a very holy place called the door to Lord Hari, Haridwar. Many of you who have gone to India might have seen that place, Haridwar, a very famous place at the foothills of Himalayas. Actually, from very ancient times, the uh, journey towards the Himalayan great pilgrimage places, when people used to take it up on foot, they would begin that journey from this place, because this was a kind of small township. Now it is a big town, but earlier it was kind of last uh, uh, town before you move to the wilderness of Himalayan hills. So they would begin this journey from here, Haridwar. So this was even now, that is the city with lot of holy temples and holy people coming and staying there for the purpose of spiritual practice. That this is therefore called a door to Hari. Hari Dwar. Dwar means door. So you go there and dedicate yourself to Lord. Sometimes it is also called Haradwar. Instead of I, there is this, that I is removed or replaced by A. But it means the same thing to God. Instead of Hari, it is Hara, means Lord Shiva. So it doesn't matter. They and a very devotional place. So he goes there and then practice the yoga of devotion there with one pointed sincerity. Mm. This is how the life changed. Not that he got salvation just by uttering the name. The process began there, that he remembered his real goal of life and now decided to go on this path. This is, he also had to do lot of spiritual practices. They got added to what he used to do before falling into the clutches of his evil tendencies. So now he completely abandoned those things and practice these divine disciplines to move further. So it is, and then there is he repented. There is this repentance. We discussed that a little bit in last class. That what is this idea of repentance? Repentance is feeling tremendously sorry for going on the wrong path, that sorrow is something that will prevent you from again going on that. Because no, no, I had my lesson. That is the meaning of repentance. It is not like the ritual that called confession. In Catholics, they go to, there is a confessor, there is the authority to whom, church authority to whom you confess. Now it becomes a ritual every week. I go to confess, and then therefore I must commit some sins to confess, isn't it? If not, then what am I going to tell there? So let me commit some sins. I told one nice joke about it, that it is the priest told somebody who came to confess some sin that, oh, I told lie to this person. Now, okay, okay, you are freed from it. What should I do? Uh, I told three things, that I did this wrong, this thing wrong, this thing wrong. And then the priest said, okay, you can go. How much I have to pay? Well, you can put in that box $20 bill. Then another similar person came and then said, okay, I committed this yesterday. This is bad. I did. I cursed this fellow. And so he also narrated the three sins that he committed. The priest again did, okay, you are free from this. Uh, and okay, you also can put $20 bill there in that box. Another person came, he reported only two sins. Uh, and then the janitor who was cleaning that place, he was hearing everything. Although supposedly nobody should be there in the earshot. But he was working and he also could not hide that he was hearing. So when this fellow told only two things, he said, hey, you fellow, just run quickly and commit one more evil thing and come. There is a, you can get repudiation of three sins for $20. So therefore commit one and come. So it is, that is, no sin goes away by that. It is, so repentation is this. It is that Ajamila's repentation. That what a terrible life I led. I will not do any such thing anymore. So, uh, they, by uttering Lord's name even once, Ajamila, a Labyrinthine, who broke all the laws of Dharma. Laws of Dharma, here the word Dharma means the laws of this ritualistic religion, which is based on you do good, you get good result, do bad, you do get bad result. There is nothing wrong in that law. It is, but it is superseded by another law, the law of devotion. There is this, laws are there, but there is something that supersedes that law. Like there is the simple Newtonian laws of mechanics, and they are correct. They have a field of work, they work very well there. But there is that they get superseded. Newton's laws do not become applicable for the electrons within an atom. They do not obey Newtonian laws of mechanics. It becomes very different. So there is then that the Einstein's theory of relativity, where the particles, when they move very fast, now they do not, you see, they deviate from Newton's laws. Also, thus you get to a new realm of law in which the Newtonian laws become a subset. So they thus you find here that all these laws are okay, good, but there is a superior authority than this. These laws are good. They tell you this, do this, this will happen. Do this will happen. And everything will have its effects. And that is to be respected. Yes, that is the realm of law. But one has to learn to escape this going round and round in this bondage of work. Do this, get this result. Again, that becomes work, do you get that result. So it is like that. It is the life of bondage. Just being born and dead, again getting born, do the same things, again die, again do. There is no end at all there. But when you see the other level of law, that God alone is real. So, uh, it is that law one has to enter in. So, it is that field now he enters. So, and there, thus there is lot of discussion here about it that uh, it is the Bhagavatam in this story is begets lot of philosophical and discussion among scholars of Bhagavatam, that how the name alone has so much power. Mm, it is, and that name also was uttered not with the idea of calling on God, calling on His Son. So there is the school that says there is inherent power of the name of God. Hmm. There is the inherent power, just as there is inherent power of a medicine. Whether you are taking it consciously or not, it will have its effect. What will happen, Charlie? If you please don't do that, but somebody swallows a cyanide pill, not knowing. Do you think so? Okay. You will be okay after death. Okay. But just because you swallowed it without you thought that it is a candy and take it, will you have the effect of candy or cyanide? It is so there is the objective qualities of something. So whether it doesn't depend whether you know it or you don't know it. There is a nice story of one man getting salvation. That it is one man was, he made all the arrangements for the worship of Shiva uh, for the night. And then under a tree, he made that emblem of Shiva and then was going to worship there. Before the worship began, he went to take bath and all that. And then at that time, somebody who was tired, a wayfarer, so he just went up the tree because wanted to be safe from the wild animals. So he thought climbing on a tree will give him some safety. So he climbed on the tree, and then was just putting down some leaves from just as a matter without knowing anything. So, but that happened to be the tree of Bilwa. Ah, so they very auspicious, especially for the worship of Lord Shiva. And they were falling right on this emblem of Shiva. And then this man who made all the arrangements of worship, he came and then he did. But this man sitting on the tree, he got salvation. So this man questioned Shiva. Hey, what is this? Eh? I made all these arrangements. I wanted to do the worship. I did. And this fellow unknowingly did this. How could he get? Shiva said, well, unknowingly or knowingly, he did the worship. Now what can I do? So it is, he got it. So that is how, whether knowingly or unknowingly, Bhagavatam, that there is debate on this, that the idea of inherent power of the name. So there is the inherent power of the name of God that cannot be done away with. Then there is the another discussion that ensues. Some other scholars, other commentators, they say that no, that name just awakened the um, past impressions of his holy life. So this phase is over. That it is this particular movie going on is now finished, and then the earlier this episode about something divine came up. So that name was just a trigger. It didn't have any other power but changed the course of his life by awakening those memories. Uh, some say that no, this is to be taken only as an allegory, an example, a eulogy. In eulogy, you praise something in a lot which is not real. Like when somebody passes away, all good things about that person, real or imaginary, they are told. It is like I was, as Swami had arrived from Belur Math, our headquarters, and he was going to give a discourse on one Tuesday. So I asked him that your introduction shall give. I know you for a long time. He said, don't say much. Only a few things. I came from here. I'm monk of Ramakrishna order. That much you say. Don't say too many things. All the other good things, reserve them to say after my death. It is, yeah. So keep them for my this funeral ceremony. So don't say now. So it is. Uh, that is called eulogy. So this is the eulogy. The purpose is to awaken the feeling of devotion, but should not be taken too literally. That is another second. And some say that this. Look at the emphasis that it is that Bhagavatam in this verse, that 49th verse says, म्रियमाणो हरेर्नाम गृणन् पुत्रोपचारितम् अजामिलोऽपि अद्धाम किं पुनः श्रद्धया गृणन्. Uh, if without knowing that he is uttering the name of God at the time of death, Ajamila, who indulged in all worldly life, even that has so much effect. So imagine if somebody is uttering that name consciously, with faith, with right worshipful attitude, how great reward will be reaped by that. So That is, in a way, the end of the story. But King Parikshit has a question. We will take one more minute to discuss that. So, uh, Parikshit asked, okay, then what happened to those emissaries of Yama? They went back and then they reported that to their lord Yama. Now, what did Yama say? Was he agitated that my authority? Let me go to that Vishnu. I am going to question him. Who are you to obstruct my emissaries? But when Yama was asked by his emissaries, when it was narrated to him, he said, that was how it should happen. I have the authority, but so many like me, we are officers conducting our duties under the all powerful one realm of God. That God is all powerful. Beyond that, there is no law. All the laws are in one level. In one without second, there is no law. So, law is only in multiplicity. When you transcend that, you transcend all laws. And he started praising Lord Yama that, well, that is how your name is so powerful. We got the taste of it. May glory be to you. So that is how this great episode ends, telling us the importance of devotion and glory of the name of Lord. There won't be Friday classes for next 4 weeks because I am leaving for India, and it is there will be Tuesday classes and Sunday lectures that will go on by other speakers. But Fridays I am going to give some relief, to our attendees that okay, some vacation is needed. Swami, you are going on vacation. Give us some vacation too. So it is. The next Friday class will be on March 31st. So, not the whole month of March will not be without Friday classes as per planning now. So, March 31st is Friday, and then we should have, within all probability, the class on Srimad Bhagavatam. A different episode will begin about the Narada and Daksha again, the great effect of holy company. So let us conclude this by the that closing chant. Oh, there is one more. Thus his life ascended rapidly to the supreme abode of God, the one without second. That is the end of this Ajamila's episode. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his word. Anybody has any question? Oh, you have a question? Come on, then give it to Tilak.
Okay. I can't be doing spiritual practices all the time. So I read, I socialize, I listen to music, I daydream. Is that bad? I mean, what am I supposed? I just can't. Part of the socialization is my work, and I just can't be doing it all the time. So what should I do?
The Sri Ramakrishna told that keep yourself uh, engaged with that only as much as necessary for your work. Apply. He used to give the example of those who break open and take out the substance from a jackfruit. Do you anybody has experience with jackfruit? Oh, good. Our Cambodian friend knows jackfruits. So it is when you break that fruit, it's a big fruit. Sometimes it may one jackfruit I know it was just kept in the market, not a competition thing. Was weighing so much we needed two people to lift it to buy to get to our center. No, it is so heavy. Now when you break and open it, now it has so much of that gluey and sticky substance uh, connected with all the nice pulp. So to open and take out that, your hands become so sticky in just first 2 minutes, and then you try to put it. Oh, it is really a horrible job. I tried it in Belur Math once. Take it out, it sticks here. Oh, and then you feel let me rub it off, and then it goes sticking more and more. You feel tired, want to rub the face, sweat from your face. It gets all stuck there. You try to wipe into your cloth, the cloth becomes like that. So, therefore, those who want to open and get out that, there is a safety procedure. Everywhere there is now these all the electrical work is going on. They do the safety procedure. They put on some special gloves and switch off the circuit breakers where they are working. So here you have to apply. Sri Ramakrishna says apply oil to your hands and then try to take out. Then it will not stick. So they apply the oil of devotion and non attachment. Thus, all what you do will not stick. Mm. This is guaranteed by Lord Krishna that if you work with the spirit of detachment, you will not get the harmful results of this doing this work. But if you do this socialization or other things with the desire to do that, although it is 5 minutes of it was part of your work, but you continue to indulge in 5 hours. Then, of course, it is not out of the compulsion of the work, but out of the desires, and so you will have the effect of the desires. There is so one has to choose, that what you want to do in life. If you have to, you see, go on mixing in the society and following their ways, naturally you will have the effect of that. It is you can't do it all the time, then gradually practice so that you can do it for more and more time. Nobody is condemned, no, they but you have to be on the right track with more and more intensity for one's own, good. Otherwise, of course, there is this realm of work and effect. Yeah. uh, Give it to Tilak. He also has a question to ask.
Swamiji, this is not perhaps directly related to Ajamila's uh, episode, but maybe slightly during the Gita class, it came up about the three different bodies: physical, subtle, And then there was some confusion about the causal body. Would you just comment on what exactly that is?
It is almost impossible to specify anything about it, except that it is the uh, separation of I and world, that individuation. I am this and the world. That separating line between I and the world, that is the causal body. Ignorance. Only the ignorance is causal body. And therefore, there is no specification to it because the instruments of specification, which are mind and the gross body, they have not yet evolved there. They are not there. Therefore, in the sleep, there is no further description except that I don't know. So, this is the ignorance, that is the causal body. The indication you get is, as I mentioned, in the deep sleep. You get the this understanding of subtle body in your dream. That, well, that is different from what I was experiencing, was not through this gross body. That is a separate thing. And then the gross body in the waking state. In waking state, all three bodies are functioning. In the dream state, only the subtle and the causal are functioning. Gross body you are not identified with. But in the deep sleep, neither gross nor subtle, only causal body is there. That is how one can try to get some idea. Yeah. Yona has a question. Tuesday there will be in the flyer, there are one will be done by Abhijit on 7th on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because that is his birthday. Yeah.
Swamiji, what is your own view on that first interpretation that you can chant the name of the Lord without actually meaning the Lord? Is that an effective way to do it? What is your own view on that?
Well, see, I am not a person with lot of knowledge. I just follow the scriptures, what they say. These are wise people, much wiser than this fellow. So I don't have much of my own theory. It is, yeah, sometimes I feel both all the three that I have mentioned, all three are true in their own way. Yeah. Nothing that I particularly would hold to be better than another. It is, yes, if you have that faith about name, yes, that is good. Yes, the name will do. Tremendous power of name. It is because everything here gets, their reality only by name. What is Yogatmananda? Tell me. It is just a name. That's it. There is nothing. The other thing, the particles in the body, they are constantly changing. It is what is there except the name. So name gives an identity to something. It is therefore we identify something. Hey, this is Yona. Now it is what is it that I am identifying? Hmm. Nobody knows. Only God is being identified there. That reveals the same permanent thing. Other things keep on changing. So, therefore, the power of name is tremendous. This whole world runs with the name. That's all. There is nothing else. It is uh, what is red socks. So many people become, so much enamored. Oh, our team. What is there? Just the name is there. The owners change, the players change, coaches change, even the stadium changes, all that changes. Only name survives. That is why the name is the reality actually in everything. So the name therefore is so important. That is what Abhijit's lecture on Tuesday will be about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's great this teaching was about the name of the God. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord and His glory. It is, yeah. So very nice teaching. Name, power of. Now the different theories, okay, you can have. I do not have any personal take on it. Thank you. Any other question? Hey, Eze, there is any question?
Yes.
Okay.
First question is from Taraswin.
Yes, Taraswin.
Pranam Revered Maharaj.
Pranam, pranam.
What is a path for a person who sees his or her guru or ishta during the last moments? Will it lead to the liberation or a better and progressive birth in the next life? Thank you.
Yes, at the last moment, if there is this um, awareness in whatever way of the guru or the ishta, that is the chosen form of the deity of God, chosen form of God, then that would be liberation. There would be no better birth. It is the final liberation would be there. If that is being thought about, but not exact at the that point of death, it was not remembered as such, then there would be the according to karma a better rebirth would be there. Yeah. So, but at the point of leaving this body, as per the my understanding of Bhagavad Gita in the 8th chapter, then that is it. There is no further birth because yam yam bhavam smaratyante kalevaram, that it is tejatyante kalevaram, whatever you think at the moment of giving up that body, you get birth according to that. And therefore, Lord says the same rule applies that if somebody dies thinking of me, that person comes to me. So, that is the answer to that. Thank you.
Second is a special request from London Buddha.
From whom?
London Buddha.
London Buddha. My
Mhm.
goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in Providence. Okay. Yes.
Please give a talk on how to get the clairvoyance to know the super jackpot.
Please repeat how to.
How to get clairvoyance to know super jackpot.
Super jackpot. Well, I don't have enough knowledge to get all these super jackpots. But yeah, if God is the super jackpot, yes, you can get that God because that will remove all wants forever. And the way of to do that is keep on thinking about it. Give a lecture. I don't know if I will be giving a lecture on exactly that topic, but maybe thank you for suggesting the topic. I will think about it. Any other question? That's it. Okay. Thank you, friends. So, all the best. Let us. We heard the glory of the name so loudly. Now sing the name of the Lord. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल। मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल। हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल। कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल। मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल। केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।